What if the weakest emperor is actually the strongest? Get ready to have your mind blown as we dive deep into a wild One Piece theory. Hello 500 brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Otaku Wave Hub channel. Today, I'll bring you an extremely interesting theory about the ambiguous relationship between Rocksteady, Xebec, and Buggy. You can consider this a stone theory because the main purpose of this video is just to bring entertainment to you after a long, tiring day. The most shocking and unexpected development in One Piece currently is the whole world buzzing with the theory that Emperor Buggy might be the second son of the legendary pirate Rocksteady Xebec. Just look at their wanted posters. Both have almost identical poses and expressions. This seems like a clear hint from author Oda about their father-son relationship. As I mentioned in previous videos, Buggy could be Rocksteady Xebec's biological son. However, this theory has an illogical point. Clown King Buggy is too weak, while Rocksteady Xebec was one of the strongest pirates, comparable to or even surpassing legends like Roger or Whitebeard. And his power seems to have been accurately passed down to Teach. If they were brothers, then perhaps Teach inherited the strength, and Buggy inherited the charisma with others, right? However, we're not sure if Buggy is truly weak, because every aspect of the Clown King's identity is still a mystery. Is Buggy truly just lucky, favored by the author, or is his fate truly no less significant than anyone else's? From a young age, Buggy appeared at the God Valley incident, and was then raised by Pirate King Gol D. Roger along with the son of the red-haired knight, Shanks. Later, Buggy somehow became one of the 4 most dangerous individuals in the ocean with the title of Emperor. Let's return to the bloodline connection. If Teach also has his own charisma because he inherited his father Rocksteady Xebec's will, then what if Buggy is also Xebec's son, Teach's younger brother, who is only described as lacking strength, if not outright too weak, too pathetic? The difference in potential strength between Buggy and Blackbeard and Rocks is simply too great. So why is Buggy portrayed as so weak? In other words, Buggy was intentionally weakened by an unforeseen method. This method relates to his nose. That's right, if used in a special way, that nose can suppress Buggy's power. This is a classic trope in shonen manga. A character intentionally suppresses their power to fight. Many shonen characters train to restrain their power and then release it explosively. Thus, Buggy seems unaware of his true self. And Buggy's biggest secret is his nose. There's a high probability this is true. And at the end of the story, when that large nose is removed, Buggy will become one of the strongest pirates in the One Piece world. Who could believe Buggy would be the strongest? This is one of the biggest twists prepared in the work. Buggy is intentionally portrayed as weak multiple times for this reason. Why does someone as weak as Buggy possess such captivating charisma, as if he possesses Conqueror's haki, something only chosen individuals among millions have? Let's see me analyze the biggest secret of Emperor Buggy. First, we'll discuss the reason why Buggy is portrayed as the weakest emperor. Clown King Buggy appeared from the very first chapters of One Piece, making him a veteran character in this world. He was the enemy who once damaged Luffy's precious straw hat and also put Luffy in the most dangerous situation in the story. Buggy's most prominent characteristic is his weakness. He's extremely weak. Luffy often calls him an idiot. Who could believe such an idiot is the son of Rocks, one of the strongest pirates, right? But this theory could become true, and it originates from the God Valley incident 38 years ago. Rocksteady Xebec, a legendary pirate, appeared there and he brought a child with him. That child was Buggy. Rocks, a flamboyant pirate, probably placed this child in a treasure chest-shaped carriage, one of the most magnificent in the world. But that carriage got mixed up in the chaos, mistaken for treasure, and was then taken by the Roger pirates. This situation is exactly like Shanks. After that, Rocks disappeared from the island. The Roger pirates decided to raise the child, naming him Buggy, based on the Japanese word baji, which refers to a baby carriage. Buggy, born from a treasure chest, became the pirate who craves treasure the most in the world. That could be the story of Buggy's childhood. Buggy's most distinctive feature is his red nose. Rocks, who aimed for world domination, disappeared at God Valley. Perhaps he also knew about the existence of Teach, his other son, so at least Rocks must have seen Buggy's future, the child he supposedly brought with him. His only worry was that Buggy's special bloodline would be targeted by the world government. As we've seen how they tried to eliminate Roger's bloodline, to protect Buggy, Rocks did something to conceal his bloodline's identity by putting an unremovable fake nose on Buggy. Buggy's clown-like red nose can be removed, not in the sense of his chop-chop fruit bara bara no my ability, but it can literally be taken off. If you want to know exactly why it's a fake nose, let's move to the first part. The secret of the nose and parallel lines. In this section, I will show you that Buggy's nose is fake and can be removed. This secret is hidden everywhere in the story. The author's message that Buggy's nose can be removed is subtly embedded throughout the work. One hint lies in Buggy's emblem. This emblem could be a code. It only appeared once in the movie One Piece Stampede, drawn on the hat Buggy wore, and was recreated on a movie character figure. This emblem differs from Buggy's usual emblem. The difference is the nose. In this version, his nose is much smaller, its shape is altered, and it's colored pink. So what meaning did Oda embed through this change? The shape of this nose is reminiscent of cherry blossom petals from Japan, the country where One Piece originated. This emblem implies that the nose is a cherry blossom, a fake accessory to attract attention, and the two parallel lines on either side of Buggy's eyes in the emblem are like railroad tracks. When these two details are combined, we have flower and railroad track, also known as Hana Toru, Chinese letter Japanese letter, a pun implying the action of nose removal. This hint also appears on the cover of chapter 1095, an image where Buggy has no nose, along with many flowers and two parallel lines like railroad tracks. This detail seems to reiterate this wordplay, serving as a confirmation that the nose is fake. However, even though Buggy's nose is fake, it cannot be physically removed in a normal way due to his chop fruit ability, which prevents his body from actually being cut apart. Similarly, Law's op fruit ability, though it cuts, doesn't truly sever. So, who can remove this nose? The answer lies in a previous cover image featuring a monkey who stole Buggy's nose. Monkey here alludes to Monkey D. Luffy, and at the end of the story, it is very likely that Luffy will be the one to remove Buggy's nose. Both these young men once stormed Impel Down when they were rookie pirates. Now, Luffy and Buggy are both emperors, holding immense power, and their common enemies are the Marines and the world government. So, will they attack Mary Geoise together in the final battle? If that happens, Buggy's unremovable nose could be taken off by Luffy, just like how cherry blossoms appeared around Luffy's body in his god Nika form on another manga cover. And Nika's power can remove facial parts. Near the final battle, Luffy will remove Buggy's nose. Luffy, with his god Nika power bringing freedom to everyone, will be the key to releasing that seal for Buggy. And if Luffy is the one to remove that nose for Buggy, then the one who put that nose on Buggy was none other than Xebec. He did it all for Buggy's future. Let's move on to the next section to understand more. Xebec's power suppressing Buggy's strength. To hide his bloodline, Rox put a fake nose on Buggy. Thanks to this, Buggy avoided attention and survived without being targeted by the world government. However, by some coincidence, he still became an emperor. Regarding that fake nose, it surely has something special. Perhaps it was created from Rox's power. A power possibly from the dark fruit Yami no Mai, the dark devil fruit that Tish Blackbird risked everything to obtain. In the description of the only battle we've seen involving Rox, he displayed the power to blow everything away, different from the destructive power of Conqueror's Haki we usually see. That might be why the narrator states that Rox was a very unique sword user. This means Rox's power is related to both attraction and repulsion. Because if he possessed the Yami no Mai, this devil fruit is described like a cosmic black hole. A cosmic black hole doesn't just pull things in, it also expels matter. Theoretically, it's similar to how rubber can stretch and contract. Yami no Mai has the ability to create a black hole with infinite gravitational pull. We've seen Blackbird use it to absorb the power of Whitebird's tremor fruit Gura no Mai. So what if its power could absorb others' Haki? A nose attached to Buggy, constantly absorbing his Haki, making him weak. Even though he possesses charisma like Conqueror's Haki, Buggy cannot display his strength because his Haki is suppressed. When this nose is removed, Buggy will unleash his Conqueror's Haki and become one of the strongest pirates, standing alongside red-haired Shanks, just like the legend of the Red and Demon. Furthermore, Buggy is like the Joker in a deck of cards, who will flip the game, transforming from the weakest pirate to the strongest, worthy of the Emperor title. Okay, thank you all for watching the entire video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support Otaku Wave Hub. And now, goodbye and see you next time.